Hi, good morning everybody. So my dear students, today we will start the types of resources from our chapter number 1 geography. Earlier in the first video we have discussed what are resources, what is value, what is utility with some examples. I hope you have watched the earlier video and is now very much familiar with the concept of resources beta. Okay, so now let's start our reading. Now we will read about the types of resources. As we all know that beta, if we study a concept, then in a concept there are some parts that into being the concept is being divided, just like same the resources is also divided into some parts, so it becomes easy to study all aspects of our chapter. Okay, so now let's read. First is the natural resources. Natural resources are those resources that are drawn from nature and used without much modification are called natural resources. Like beta, the name natural means itself means nature. It is representing nature. So natural resources are those resources which we get from our nature, from our surroundings, and we use them in their own natural form without much without much modification. Okay, the the air we breathe, the water in our rivers and lakes, the soils, the minerals are all natural resources. Many of these resources are free gifts of nature and can be used directly. In some cases, tools and technology may be needed to use our natural resources in the past possibly way. Like beta, in nature we have our soil, we have water, we have air, and we have our rivers, lakes, trees, plants, and animals. Okay, and we get everything for our livelihood from our nature. Like we get water from lakes and rivers, we get air, and the air carries oxygen, and we get oxygen through plants. Okay, we have soil, and on soil we grow crops, we grow our plants and trees that are really beneficial for our environment, also to keep our environment healthy and neatly. Okay, so like all the natural resources are really very much important for our survival beta. Okay, so now all these are the gifts of nature and can be used directly. For example, we can take water from lakes and river directly to our homes. Okay, and nowadays we have proper water supply at our home. Okay, and those water supply came from the rivers or from the lake side. Okay, now we take milk and ghee. Like we take milk from cows and buffaloes, and with the help of milk we prepare the milk products like butter, ghee, makhan, and all other like sweets. Okay, now we get fruits from plants. On soil we grow our vegetables, our crops like wheat, rice, barley, maize, which are really helpful for our meal. Okay, and everything we get from our natural resources or we get from nature. Okay, so now natural resources are classified into different groups depending upon their level of development and use, origin, stock, and distribution. Now beta, in the concept of natural resources, the natural resources are therefore again divided into some several parts, and all the parts depend upon their level of development, use, origin, stock, and distribution. Like level of development here means that what is the level of their progressiveness. Okay, like for how many years it will survive, for how many days it will remain healthy. Okay, now ओरिजिन हेयर मीन्स बेटा कि उसका ओरिजिन कहाँ पे हुआ है. ओके, कि वो कहाँ पे पैदा हुआ है. ओके, स्टॉक मीन्स लाइक इट इज देयर इन दी स्टॉक मीन्स how much quantity it is available for us. ओके कि वो कितनी मात्रा में उपलब्ध है हमारे लिए. डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन मीन्स कि हम उसको लोगों में कैसे बांट सकते हैं. ओके, so clear this? Good. On the basis of their development and use, resources can be classified into two groups: actual resources and the potential resources. Okay, now we will study first level of development, and on the basis of level of development the resources are further classified into two parts: actual resources and potential resources. Actual resources are those resources whose quantity is known. These resources are being used in the present. The rich deposits of coal in rural region of Germany and petroleum in the West Asia, the dark soil of the Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra are all actual resources. Okay, so now my dear students, what are actual resources? Actual resources are those kind of resources beta which can be determined. Yes, कि बेटा जिनको हम काउंट कर सकते हैं. ओके, लाइक द availability of fruits, that how much kg fruits we have, like the availability of milk, how much kg milk we have, the availability of raw materials in how much kg we have. Okay, like those kind of resources beta which we can count our own in counting figures like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and so on. So these are called the actual resources. Okay, and these resources are being used in the present times. Okay, actual resources are used in the present times. Okay, the rich deposits of coal in rural region of Germany, like these are the examples of the actual resources. Like we have coal mines in the rural region of Germany and petroleum in the West Asia. Okay, the dark soils of the Deccan Plateau in Maharashtra are actual resources. Okay, like my dear students, the example of actual resources are rural region, coal mines, petroleum and the dark soil in the Deccan Plateau of Maharashtra. Now let me tell you something about dark soil. Beta, dark soil is very much important and essential for the growing of cotton crops. Okay, without dark soil a cotton cannot be grown. Okay, and that's why Maharashtra is the large emerging state in our country in the agriculture sector of cotton crop. Okay, so cotton is grown in Maharashtra because in Maharashtra there is dark soil, black soil. Okay, so I hope the concept of actual resources is clear to you. Good. Now potential resources. Now potential resources are those whose entire quantity may not be known and these are not being used at present. Okay, so beta क्या होते हैं potential? These are those kind of resources which we cannot figure out their क्वांटिटी. हम इनकी क्वांटिटी को मेजर नहीं कर सकते और ये क्या है प्रेजेंट में यूज भी नहीं होते हैं बेटा. जैसे कि एक्चुअल जो होते हैं वो यूज होते हैं बट ये प्रेजेंट में यूज नहीं होते. ओके, नाउ दीज रिसोर्सेज कुड बी यूज्ड इन द फ्यूचर. The level of technology we have at present may not be advanced enough to easily utilize these kind of resources. The uranium found in Ladakh is an example of potential resources that can be used in future. High speed winds were a potential resources 200 years ago. Today they are an actual resources, and wind farms generate energy using windmills in the Netherlands. You will find some in Nagarkul in Tamil Nadu and on the Gujarat coast. So beta, the potential resources are those kind of resources which are available for the future use. ओके बेटा, कि जो आज के समय पे यूज़ नहीं होते बट इन्हें हम फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए सेव करके रखते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव uranium in Ladakh. So at present we all know that there is no use of uranium, but uranium can be used in the in the future times when the next generation will come. Suppose like beta we have our windmills in Kerala, in Tamil Nadu. Okay, earlier they were of no use. Okay, in ancient time they were treated like as potential resources, but at present times we are using them to generate energy, and so now they are coming to the category of actual resources. So now what they are doing the form of actual resources. And what suppose like if we start using uranium in 2025, at that period of time that uranium will come into the category of actual resources, because we are using it. Okay, so now we can say actual resources are those kind of resources which are used as present, and potential resources are those kind of resources which are not used at present. Okay, now based on their origins, resources can be abiotic or abiotic. Okay, abiotic resources are non-living while biotic resources are living. Soil, rocks and minerals are abiotic, but plants, animals are biotic resources. Okay, so now my dear students, there are on the basis of their origin like that उनका जन्म स्थान कहाँ से होता है, उनका जन्म स्थान कहाँ से होता है बेटा, इसके बेस पे वो दो भागों में बांटे जाते हैं. वन इज द एबायोटिक एंड द अनदर इज द बायोटिक. एज द नेम इटसेल्फ रिप्रेजेंट दैट एबायोटिक मीन्स non-living and biotic means living thing. Okay, so the living organisms are called biotic and the non-living resources are called abiotic. So for examples, non-living we have soil, we have rocks. Okay, now and biotic we have plants and animals because they are living. Okay, now natural resources can be broadly categorized into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Beta, this is an important concept, you will note it down. Okay, so first we will deal with the renewable resources. These are those which get renewed, replenished quickly. Some of these are unlimited and are not affected by human activities such as solar and wind energy. Yet carelessly use of certain renewable resources like water, soil and forest can affect their stock. Water seems to be an unlimited renewable resource, but shortage and drying up of natural water source is a major problem in many parts of the world today. Okay, so now my dear students, like what are renewable resources? Renewable resources are those kind of resources which gets easily renewed, like for example solar energy, wind energy. Okay, these are the examples of renewable resources which get renewed and replenished quickly, कि जो जल्दी से उत्पन्न हो जाते हैं, जल्दी से अपनी एक्चुअल फॉर्म में आ जाते हैं. Okay, and इनका like water, soil, forest can affect their stock. Okay, and water is a renewable resource. Beta, water is an unlimited renewable resource because we all know that 71% of our earth carries water only, but only soil and forest are available in few percentage. Okay, so now some of the major problems in many parts of the world today is the drying up of natural resources. Okay, and there is a shortage also because the people are really using water, soil and forest for their own commercial uses. Okay, now we will study non-renewable resources are those which have a limited stock. Okay, like beta, renewable resources have unlimited stock like wind energy, solar energy, water, soil, forest, etc. But non-renewable are those which have a limited stock. Okay, once these stock are exhausted, it may take thousands of years to be renewed or replenished. अगर एक बारी बेटा ये ख़त्म हो गए ना तो ये अगली बारी कम से कम 1000 साल बाद उत्पन्न हो गया, मतलब दे टेक थाउजेंड्स ऑफ ईयर टू फॉर्म। ओके, कौन से? नॉन रिन्यूएबल रिसोर्सेज। एंड सिंस दिस पीरियड इज मच मोर देन ह्यूमन लाइफ स्पैन, सच रिसोर्सेज आर कंसिडर्ड नॉन रिन्यूएबल। ओके, coal, petroleum and natural gas are some examples. So examples of non renewable resources are coal, petroleum and natural gas, because beta coal and natural gas and petroleum takes millions of year to form, and when the dead plants and animals get buried into the soils, when the garbage waste, when the home waste puts into the soil, and they were dumped with the sand, so with the high pressure, high temperature and millions of year they take to form coal, petroleum and natural gas. Okay, so renewable resources are unlimited in quantity, and non-renewable are limited in quantity. Renewable are can be used at present times in many ways, but non-renewable cannot be used so much, and we have to preserve them for our future use also. Okay, because coal, petroleum and natural gas are so resources which can be used for future generations also. Okay, now on the basis of their distribution, resources can be ubiquitous or localized. Resources that are, now we will discuss on the basis of their distribution कि हम भाई इन resources को कैसे बांटते हैं. Okay, कैसे इनको distribute करते हैं. So resources that are found everywhere like the air we breathe are ubiquitous, but those which are found only in certain places are localized like copper and iron ore. Okay, the distribution of natural resources depends upon number of physical factors like terrain, climate and altitude. The distribution of resources is unequal because these factors differ so much over the earth. Okay, now this is an important question. Why the distribution of natural resources over the earth? Because of the three factors like terrain, climate and altitude. Okay, altitude means height, climate means seasonal changes, and terrain is just like a slope kind of कि भाई यहाँ पे ज़मीन कैसी है, वहाँ पे ज़मीन कैसी है. Okay, the fertility of the soil and the quality of the soil and the quality of the resources available there. Okay, so such kind of factors makes the distribution of natural resources. Okay, now this is all about the natural resources beta, and now let's take I shall tell you about ubiquitous or and the localized. Resources that are found everywhere like the air we breathe are ubiquitous, but those which are found only in the certain places are called localized. Like the resources which are found everywhere are called as the ubiquitous, like for example air, water, soil, plants and animals, and localized are those kind of which are found in certain places like coal, petroleum, iron ore and natural gas. Okay, so this is all about your natural resource beta, and in the next video we will discuss about the second type of resource that are the human made resources. I hope you like the video. Thank you.